There we go. Hello. Again. Hello again. I am talking to myself again in this video because I wanted to talk about something. It's sort of like the idea of becoming more aware in general. Just becoming more aware. It's kind of like a curse. To me, I kind of see it as sort of this like double-edged sword type of thing, where on one side it's really good, becoming more aware is obviously really good. You learn new things, you improve certain aspects of yourself from the things that you've learned and from the things that you've become more aware of. But then there's, at least for me, then there's this other side. There's this really bad side. Which, I mean, it's not that bad, but like it's sort of okay. To me, the other side of it is sort of the bittersweet side. It's like the more you learn, the more you become aware, the more you become better at certain things, like recognizing your flaws or your mistakes, just recognizing those sorts of things. I come to, it's like I've come to realize how little I knew back then, in my past relationships with people, just general relationships with people, and in my past behaviors, my past dynamics, my past actions, words said, things like that. It's like I think to myself like, bro, what was wrong with you? Like, what was wrong with you? Like, genuinely, what was wrong with you? Because why would you do those things? But then now I have, I've realized that, I truly just did not know any better back then. And it feels so, it doesn't feel, like, it feels like if I say that out loud to someone else, it becomes invalid. Because it's like, it kind of sounds like I'm excusing myself. I'm excusing my past, my bad actions from the past. But that's not the case. I'm like, it's truly, yeah. Oh my god, it's hard to explain, but in essence, like this bad side of awareness, which what I really mean is that this difficult side of awareness is the fact that, not the fact, but it's the realization of how far you've come, really, and then comparing and contrasting, your low point in life to a higher point in life. The lower point, as in the times that you didn't know any better, the times that you should have known better, but you just really didn't, and you ended up doing these awful things, these mean things. You ended up hurting other people, hurting yourself, and then comparing it to more recent points of your life that are good in comparison, because you've become better. And so it's like it's a mix of beating yourself up for not knowing better, but at the same time forgiving yourself because you recognize that you didn't know any better, that that fact alone wasn't in your control. I think because the only way to know better is to make those mistakes. Which makes sense. Because if you keep doing the right thing, then how can you differentiate between what's right and what's wrong? So yeah, I guess by me sort of acknowledging this, it's like another part of that journey. It's another step in that journey, in my journey of forgiving myself, because I've hurt people. I definitely have hurt people. Like Jessica. It's just taken me this long. It's taken me this long to accept it. I've realized it for a while, but it's just I I don't know. I'm guilty. I feel ashamed. I feel like the worst person ever because she did nothing wrong. And looking back to what I had sent her, the messages that I had sent her, they were just batshit fucking mean and disrespectful and inconsiderate, short, small-minded claims and arguments that like really made no sense. Well, didn't make any sense because they weren't justified. Saying that I simply wanted to stop being your friend because I don't like this about you. Is sort of the whole gist of that. But I said it in such like disrespect. It was full of disrespect, and I feel so bad. I feel incredibly ashamed. Like I'm laughing, but it's like because I'm uncomfortable. Saying all this out loud makes me uncomfortable, and just even thinking about it makes me uncomfortable. But I gotta face it because I gotta recognize, yes, I did this. I did these terrible things, and I feel like absolute shit about it. And I want to make peace with it because I didn't know any better, and I wish I did. But I think I still am, but I was very, especially at that time, I was very troubled. And I think I'm sort of convinced that I'm socially retarded in some way. And I know like that word is you have to be careful with that word, especially with context. What I mean by that is that I feel like because of my upbringing, I do not have the best people skill or social skills with the connections I make with people. I'm like going around in circles here, but yeah. So I guess to like go back and relate it to everything, like the more I'm becoming more aware and learning about myself, the better I'm at recognizing all my flaws for what they are, like truly for what they are. And then I guess the struggle is now forgiving myself for them, for these flaws and mistakes that I've made in the past because I didn't know better. And yeah. So it's just something I gotta balance. You gotta feel like shit about one thing before forgiving yourself for it. So, yeah. Be better. Be more considerate to people. Okay? Because I know you weren't very kind to yourself, and that translated into how you treated other people in the past. So, before all that, just be kind to me. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to me, Christine. I'm like switching POV, so it's weird. I'm sorry. But just be kind to yourself so that you don't hurt other people because you're not hurting yourself. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so just try and make peace with it. You fucked up. You really did. You hurt. You hurt these people who've done nothing wrong. Who they did nothing wrong, but you hurt them because you were hurting yourself. So yeah, be kind. Be kind to yourself, and forgive yourself. So just get that through your head. Oh my god. Yeah. So that's it. It was 11 minutes long, so I am out. Stay aware. Learn more. Forget. Don't forget that.